On this episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive, we set out to see just how necessary mud terrain tires are on the trails of the Kentucky Adventure Tour. Welcome everyone to another episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive. And as you can see in the background here, it's quite a chilly morning here in Ohio, but it's supposed to warm up and at least be a beautiful day for December in Ohio. It's a good thing too, because we are going off-roading finally in my 100 Series Land Cruiser. It's been a while since I've had this thing off-roading, and I've made some changes. You might have seen a month or two ago, I put these Cooper Discover STT Pros on here. And I did a road review. I'll put a link to that right now, but I haven't done an off-road review. It's rained a lot here in Ohio and Kentucky, so we are going to encounter a lot of mud. And these are mud terrains, so we're gonna put them to the test. So why don't you guys come along for the ride, and we're gonna go do the Kentucky Adventure Tour, which is, well, at least a part of it. It's a big kind of loop around Kentucky that's all off-road. So why don't you guys come for a ride? I stopped to meet up with a friend who was coming along for this adventure. His vehicle is a totally stock 4th gen 4Runner on generic all-terrains. The idea was that his vehicle would act as the control, and we would find out whether the mud terrains I put on my vehicle were really necessary. The Kentucky Adventure Tour is a mixture of paved and dirt roads. The section we were starting on near Livingston, Kentucky was relatively tame, but it acted as a good warm-up for what was to come the next day. Well, we've been on the road for a couple hours now. It's about 2:15 and we haven't stopped for lunch yet, so that's what we're looking for, is a place to just pull over and eat and grab a bite real quick. We're about a quarter of the way through the trail that I wanted to do today, so being that it's already 2:15, I might have been a little ambitious with how much we could cover. We kind of got down here later than I wanted to, left a little later than I wanted to, and then we got stuck in some weird traffic jam that obviously was not expecting. So gonna grab some food here real quick, and then keep hitting the trail and see how much we could do. I think he's having a struggle back there. Roger, let me come back. Up until this point, both vehicles were able to handle the terrain no problem. It wasn't until the afternoon that the 4Runner started to get tested slightly, but really nothing a bit of spotting couldn't fix.
It doesn't like that last bump. Let me try and get more speed.
More momentum.
Yeah, that always fixes everything.
Yeah, I would try and hug this wall as much as possible because that's going to make this rock less of a problem. So bring it all the way over here. There you go. There you go. Now you're good.
I wasn't worried at all.
Nice. The map that we were using not only had the route, but also points of interest. We were particularly curious about a spot on the map labeled Cave. Whoa. That is a cave, dude. I was filming in case you went in. I don't want Elon Musk to have to come rescue me and then call me a pedophile. Adam's helping me air down because I was at like 36 PSI, and not that the tires were struggling, because that wasn't the case, but it was uncomfortable. Although it was getting close to sunset, we wanted to knock out another off-road section of the KAT before it got too dark. That was until we ran across this bit of road. Well, as you can see, this really sucks. The road has had some sort of landslide and also like a bunch of trees fall. And it really sucks because where we're at, according to the map, there's really no way around here. I mean, there's always a way around. We got to go like really far back and way far around. So it's not like a quick little detour. So this might be the end for today, because by the time we get back to the trail, it's going to be super dark. But hopefully we'll hit some more in the morning before we get back to Cincinnati, or head back to Cincinnati. But gonna call it, I think, now, and try and go get some pizza at Miguel's Pizza. If you ever go to the Red River Gorge area in central Kentucky, make sure you stop by Miguel's Pizza. It was once a tiny pizza shop, but has since grown into a huge attraction, mainly for dirtbag climbers. But everyone is super friendly and the pizza always hits the spot. With our bellies full of delicious pizza, we headed for Callie's campground. The owners always welcome off-road adventure seekers, and when it's a bit warmer outside, they usually have bands on the weekends, so it's a fun place to crash. Well, here's my camping spot. Just took out all the seats in the rig. Got my sleeping bag and a little sleeping pad here. And it's gonna get pretty cold tonight. It's already 32 degrees and it's like not even 9 o'clock. And so I'm imagining it's gonna get pretty cold. But hopefully I'll stay warm in here. It's certainly better than being in a tent. And definitely looking forward to some hopefully harder trails tomorrow. We'll see what Adam wants to do, but if he doesn't want to try some harder trails, maybe we can just leave his SUV behind and then just take this one for a little bit and see what kind of stuff we can get into. I don't know, we'll see. I want to find some more mud and stuff today, and we'll definitely be starting way earlier than we did today. It took us forever to get down here, and tomorrow we're just going to wake up and hit the trails. So see you guys in the morning. Well, as you can see, that was a pretty cold night. I was pretty comfortable in my sleeping bag, but my face was freezing. Anyway, I'm gonna go hit some trails this morning. Adam's over here trying to test 4 low in his car because it wouldn't go in there yesterday, but I think he was doing it wrong. He did some Googling and you have to be in like neutral or something. So, gonna get these things warmed up and then hit the road. Since we're up close to Slade, the Kentucky Adventure Tour sometimes intersects with the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway, which is in the Daniel Boone National Forest, but not all the roads are the same. But since we're up here, we're going to go down Cow Creek, which is part of the Kentucky Adventure Tour, but then I think we're going to try and hit High Rock Road, which is part of the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway and is not part of the KAT. And we'll just see how much we can get done today.
Now, in previous years, I had done Mountain Springs Road with stock tires on my Land Cruiser. But as you'll soon find out, the trail conditions have changed a lot since last time I was here, and that ended up maybe not being the best decision. Before any of that though, we had to pass by a notoriously angry landowner who has in the past tried to prevent people from passing through their road near their land because they think it's their property, when in fact it's not. Today was no exception because, as you'll see here, they set hay bales on fire in the middle of the road. It turns out that we found out later the fire department came and had to put it out.
That just looked way worse than it actually was.
This trail was much more serious than what we had seen the day before. Even then, everything was going alright, until it wasn't. Adam's tires really started to hold him back, and he was stuck. A lot.
Good.
Just tell me, I can't see how much slack I'm taking up, so I'm just gonna go slow.
Good.
Are you unstuck?
No.
Are you unstuck yet?
Yeah.
Alright.
This went on for a little while, until the inevitable happened. Adam's rig got stuck in a place where I couldn't pull him forward any farther due to a tree, and I also couldn't get around him to yank him out the other way. Without a winch or any specialty tools, we were screwed. I rang up a friend and he put me in touch with a guy he knows locally. Thank God for this guy, Jeremy. He came with a winch and was fortunately able to pull Adam out of there. He also informed us that further down the trail there was a hill that essentially Adam had zero chance of getting up. So we tucked our tails and turned around and headed for the exit.
I think we're back in business, at least for a little bit. We got out of that mud pit, now we gotta go down.
You're good. There you go. Alright, now go. Yeah, there you go. Now you're good. Now, for the record, I want it to be known that the Land Cruiser was never stuck the entire weekend. So when it comes to the question of do you need true mud terrain tires for the trails of Kentucky, The answer is undoubtedly yes. The big takeaway is this: we screwed up. And I hope by watching our failure, it helps other people not make the same mistakes that we did. We got overconfident how well our vehicles did the day before and really got put in our place on some serious trails today. So wherever you go, make sure you at least have a winch or some other tricks up your sleeve. And for God's sake, stay off of Mountain Springs Road if you have a stock vehicle.
That's going to be it for another episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive. We set out to see whether or not mud terrain tires are needed for the back roads of Kentucky and the trails of Kentucky, and I think the answer to that is pretty obvious. You know, those mud terrains that Adam has, the second we went through any real mud, would just pack up, and he couldn't get rid of any of the mud, couldn't dissipate any of the mud, and they just became basically slick, so they didn't work at all. Meanwhile, these Cooper Discover STT Pros were awesome. After myself having some all-terrains of sorts, some more name brand ones than his, I will never be going back. I will be sticking with mud terrains just because they're not that much of a compromise on the road, and there's just so much better off-road. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with mud terrains. I have some mods for this car in the mail because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So stay tuned for that, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, there will be more episodes in the future with my Land Cruiser build. And hopefully next time you guys see us, we're doing the KAT again. I want to do the whole thing. It's a multi-day trip. It's going to take me multiple trips to get down there and complete it all just because it's so long. But, you know, some more mods and we'll make this thing more capable to handle more stuff down there. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Eat, Sleep, Drive TV on Instagram if you want to check me out in between episodes. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Super annoying. Yeah. My teammate had, I'm trying to do ASMR.
B-roll, son.
We got that B-roll. We got that B-roll. You know we do.